I help my clients look at their landscape that they're going to take their business into, and then I help them craft their brand message, and then I help them look at creative concepts and strategies to take their brands and business into that landscape. So I work with loads of different clients, mainly e-commerce. I've got a client called Dancing Leopard. They've been going for 10 years now, and 3 years ago when I joined them as a brand consultant, we've now seen things like triple revenue year on year. But to get to that point, we had to do a massive rebrand. And so that's the foundations of everything that we've done kind of going forward. I have no idea how to use this clicker, and I think everything's going to break. But we'll see how this goes. So I was asked today to do the talk on brand consistency, but I thought I'd kind of mix it up a little bit. So I don't know if you know this guy. He's the CEO of Starbucks. Again, knows a lot about brands. If people believe they share values with a company, they will stay loyal to the brand. And what's really important about this quote is the relationship between brand and the communities or the tribes that you actually foster. So, yes, so the talk today is actually called How to Break Your Brand in 8 Easy Steps. It's really a sarcastic ode to the absolute annihilation of your Shopify businesses, which is, I'm sure, what you actually wanted to come to talk about today. So number 1, only manage your favorite brand touch points. So your brand is an ecosystem. And if you only look to manage your favorites, that means you're leaving things like the 100 Twitter notifications from your customers. And if you do that, that's going to cause damage to your brand, which if you want to break it, then go ahead. This is an example of the ecosystem. And your ecosystem is it's an interconnected web, essentially, of all of your brand touch points. So this is an example of a Shopify one, where you can see you've got your main website, you might have some offline events and print, you've got your social channels, email, third-party reviews, and competitor landscape is a really important part of that. So number 2, have zero personality. You know, if you want to really obliterate your brand, don't have any kind of tone or substance to what you're saying. If you think you've got some kind of Beyonce boldness, don't show it. If you want the charisma of George Clooney, then don't show that either. Number 3, be everything to everybody. I'm sure that some people in the room have already kind of heard this or they've said it themselves, and that's you don't want to alienate people or offend people. So you would essentially say, the world is my audience, and you don't look at targeting. And that is a really surefire way of breaking your brand. Let them forget you. So if you have, you might have gone through some kind of brand reorganize, or you might have, on all of this ecosystem, you might have tons of different variations of your logo. You might have wildly different images, and your tone might be different because you're using different people to do your customer services on social or just your social media scheduling. So if you really want to kind of annihilate everything, then don't be recognizable. Make sure that from channel to channel and day to day, they have no idea who you are. And this is my favorite. So number 5, spend your time reading how to gain 5,000 IG followers in one day. I mean, there's a surefire way to kind of really damage your brand, and that's by just using tactics and not a holistic strategy. If you only focus on things like vanity metrics, so data that really has no meaning, then you're just going to disperse any kind of marketing strategy that you had in the first place. And number 6, see it from only your perspective. Don't look at any kind of customer data. Don't do surveys, and don't engage with your audience to get more data. I think it was John Bezos that said, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So he looks at brand as it's a perception. So if you really want to break it down, I mean, it's your baby to break. You can do what you want with it. See it only from your perspective and don't take anybody else's opinion into account. Whoops. Oh no. And number 7, copy your competitors. If you want to make sure you don't have, in any way, shape or form, a unique brand, then be a carbon copy of what already exists. People want to have some unique value. They want to see your unique proposition. So if you want to destroy your Shopify business or brand, then just be that carbon copy and don't have any point of difference. And finally, number 8, don't do as Argent do. Now, Argent are one of my favorite brands. They do amazing, functional, really cool suits for women, badass women entrepreneurs who I love, who are kind of bored of being treated differently to their male counterparts. And you can kind of see that tone straight away. I mean, this is like a lovely kind of homepage. Straight away, that image is really strong, and you get the tone straight away, the brand and the vibe. You can even see in their visuals that, you know, they're showing that unique functionality that you're not going to see from their competitors. And even on their pop-ups for their emails, you see their mission. So they're bringing their voice. But, you know, if you want to break your brand, you know, don't do that. And definitely don't have this final key takeaway if you're going to break your brand. Your brand is an ever-changing ecosystem of interconnected touch points that should start and finish with a consumer. So listen to your tribe and show them your vibe. And if you are sharing this on social media, feel free to say no vibe, no tribe. And that's it today.